It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Kyle Benedict. We're welcoming in the studio today Regional Director Marilyn Huffman back to talk about top industries in Arizona, ethical athlete program, the Torch Awards as well, all kinds of good stuff. So thanks for coming back today and talking about this.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of stuff going on over there at the Better Business Bureau.
There certainly is. Keeping me on my toes.
Keeping you on your toes. And are you the only office in north of Phoenix?
That is correct.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we have a Lake Havasu office.
Yeah.
They cover the western part of the state.
Okay.
And then we have our Yuma office, obviously the main office in Phoenix, and then I cover the top 4 northeastern counties in Arizona.
Man, yeah, of course it's keeping you busy. It's a
Yes,
huge area.
It is.
So we'll start off talking about the Ethical Athlete Program. Okay.
Yes.
What is the Ethical Athlete Program?
Okay, so this is part of the BBB Foundation, and it's the Ethical Athlete scholarships that we give out. BBB has partnered with the Arizona Interscholastic Association to nominate students every month, and those students that are nominated, they come together, they review, they judge basically, and then they select 2 students, 1 boy, 1 girl, and we have also been able to partner with Isogenics, which is a health company that's big here in Arizona, and they are helping sponsor those students so that now instead of offering a $500 scholarship, we're able to offer each student a $1,000 scholarship to go towards their college education. And then that's done every month. And then at the end of the school year, which is like a 10-month period, those students are then put into a group and they select 1 male, 1 female, and they're awarded a $2,500 scholarship on top of the $1,000 that they had already won.
Okay, so you do each month a boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And then at the end of the year, all of those
are put into a pool together.
And then there's one chosen from.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And now who nominates these student athletes? Is it the parents? Is it the school?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yes,
okay.
It can be a parent, a coach, a fellow athlete that maybe works with the student. So it can be a peer. There's lots of different people who have come online and have nominated a student through our website.
Okay.
But just
Great.
it doesn't have to be the star player. It doesn't have to be someone who's going to be going to college on a football scholarship or a basketball scholarship. Or we've had our first Northern Arizona winner. I'm very proud to say.
Really?
Yes, I've been really trying to put the word out there. I came up here and realized that they didn't know that this was available to them. So we had, she was nominated. Her name is Sarah Jane Schott, and she is a tennis player at Prescott High School.
Awesome.
And so she's the first person in Northern Arizona to be recognized with this award. And I took great pride in being able to present that to her.
Yeah, no, that is awesome. And it's great that it's done every single month. So it's not just one athlete for the year. I mean,
No.
you're taking 2, a boy and a girl, or male and female every single month. And then, as you mentioned, they're all at the end compiled, and then one person gets more on top of the $1,000 scholarship. So that's great.
Correct.
What about the Torch Awards?
The Torch Awards are targeting our businesses locally, and really quick with the ethical athlete, that does cover the entire state of Arizona.
Okay.
So we've had winners all the way from Tucson, now up to Prescott, Lake Havasu, etc.
Great.
Torch Awards is the same thing, where it covers the entire state of Arizona, and we recognize businesses that are doing things ethically, even in a tough economy, even in a tough world. They're trying their best to make those good choices and to be good to their consumers. And we want to recognize them. They can also be nominated by another business. They can be nominated by someone like you or I. So we have a really great experience with our insurance company or our plumbing company, your doctor. I mean, it does not matter. There are different categories. So it's usually based, we don't want a mom and pop store to be going up against a large corporation. That just wouldn't be fair. So it is based on the number of employees, depending on what category that you're in. There are 5 different categories is it 5 or 6? 5 different categories that they split them into. And I am once again proud to say that we've had our first Northern Arizona business that has not only been nominated, because we've had other businesses that were nominated in the Prescott area, Sedona area, but this business I met them last year at a couple of events in Flagstaff, and we went to their office to do a BBB video with them, and it's Benefit Logic Incorporated in Flagstaff, Arizona. Oh. Wonderful company. They're a third-party insurance company that basically helps you figure out what type of insurance is going to be best for you or serve you best. Great. And they not only were nominated, but they also made the judge cut. So they are in the top 3 for category 2, and I'm very excited. It's a smaller business, but
congratulations. It's great
wonderful.
whenever you can get the recognition for those small businesses. And
Absolutely.
One thing that you hear across the state and country, shop local. People are really trying to, you had Black Friday, and then you had Small Business Saturday, I think is what it was. So it's great that that's really, people are becoming aware of that. Now, are those businesses nominated by the consumers?
They can be. They can be nominated by the consumers. They can nominate themselves if they feel like they're in good standing and that they're doing a good job. And I will tell you, they work hard. It is a process to go through the nomination, to go through the judging, but it is so worth it. And if you really are a good company, then you always want that reflection time period. You want to take the time to invest, because that's how you find out maybe where there's an issue or a glitch, and that's how you fix things and improve and grow.
Great.
So it's a neat process to see, and they will be recognized on Wednesday, April 12th at the Arizona Biltmore, and you can go on our website and purchase a ticket if you'd like to come to the dinner. You definitely can participate as a consumer or as a business.
That's great. So just so the consumers know, if they have a business that they really like, a local small business, they can
say thank you in a very big way.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
On that note, with businesses and kind of your relationship with local businesses, how do you kind of work with local businesses? I mean, let's just kind of talk about that for a little bit before we take our first break. The relationship that you have with these small businesses locally.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say around 92-93% of the businesses that are a part of the BBB accreditation, they are small, so they are 10 or less employees. So that's obviously a passion of ours, and definitely something that we want to help. So we want to help support our community, we want to help support our state. That means we support our businesses. So for example, yesterday we had what we call the Better Business Bureau University in our office, and we hosted 8 different businesses that came in, and we taught them how to utilize their online account, what to do as far as being recognized as a business when someone Googles you or looks you, searches for you online, kind of how to put your name there, how to put your address up there, how to make sure that you keep it current so that it pops up on those first couple of pages. You want, you want yourself to be higher on that list if possible. And you want to be able to do that without spending exorbitant amounts of money, especially when you're a small business. So there are smart things that you can do. And this is one of the ways that we help. We try to educate. So we offer seminars like this pretty much on a monthly basis. A lot of them are held at our main campus in Phoenix. It's a large campus, and there's a lot of different meeting rooms, and they come together and they offer all different kinds of education as far as legal contracts. If you're a business and you use invoices or contracts of any kind, what do you need to put on there to protect yourself? Because businesses are taken advantage of. I think sometimes people don't realize how much they are at risk. Now,
is that information on the website?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
BBB.org, and then a good phone number, 928-772-3410. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the top industries of 2016 while we have Regional Director with the Better Business Bureau, Marilyn Huffman, in studio, countywide, back in a couple minutes.
The Q102 Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars.
Ed Sheeran.
What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber.
You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. You'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child swallowed household cleaner, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first to speak with medical professionals who can give you free personal advice anytime. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life.
Hello, I'm Jen Cohen, host of Verde Valley TV's hit TV show, The Verde Valley Experience. On each episode, we feature local organizations, nonprofits, persons of interest, events, activities, and great local musicians. It's informative, it's entertaining, it's fun. It's the Verde Valley Experience.
We meet online, and I tell you, I'm falling in love. I have to see you in person, but I need a loan for the ticket. I really think you're the one. And I really think you're desperate. Sure enough, you send cash and never see me again. Too smart to fall for this? Last year alone, 12 million Americans lost money this way. Can you believe it? You shouldn't. I made that up, too. Might not be as smart as you thought you were.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Kyle Benedict, sitting down with the Regional Director with the Better Business Bureau, Marilyn Huffman. BBB.org, great information, BBB.org, phone number 928-772-3410. We were talking about the Ethical Athlete Program before break, as well as the Torch Awards. Now let's go into the top industries of 2016, and I guess let's start off with the most complained about industries.
Sure. We went ahead and selected top 5 just so it's not so overwhelming. We have had over 150,000 inquiries about companies just in the 4 counties that I provide in my service area, which is Yavapai, Coconino, Apache, and Navajo counties. So we had 300 complaints that came in, and we wanted to let people know the complained about industries in our area to help protect them, to help prevent them, and to help keep, that's our whole point, is to keep the money going to the ethical businesses, not the unethical. Right. And so if we can spread the word, the first one that came up was auto dealers with new cars. And this was very similar to what we had in 2015, the year prior. Basically, consumers feel like they're misled by dealerships when they are purchasing or repairing a new vehicle. So it's all about the bottom line. It's about making money. Obviously, the longer you're making payments on a vehicle, the more that company is making money. Right. So sometimes to get a good deal can be difficult. So we always like to provide tips to help people know you can always get a second opinion. You really can. Now, you do need to be cautious when you're repairing a vehicle. If you've had work done at one shop and you take it to another shop and that shop actually does work, then any warranty that you had from this first repair shop is going to be null and void. So, but that doesn't mean that you can't get a second opinion. Mm-hmm. You can get an opinion and not actually have them do work on your vehicle. So it's okay for you to question. It's okay for you to question what in that situation would be considered an authority figure. And in fact, we would suggest that you do if you feel uncomfortable. I know it sounds silly, but trust your gut. Right. You know, if you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, then maybe it's trying to tell you something. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to buying, probably one of the best tips that I would say we offer is just letting people or reminding people you have a bank, you have a credit union, you have local people that you can go to so that you can walk in prepared and knowing how much money it is that you are approved for, so that you maybe don't get taken advantage of when it comes to that approval process. So there's ways to protect yourself, definitely, from that industry. We also received a lot of complaints regarding vitamin and food supplements, and that's actually up. It was number 5 in 2015, so we've seen kind of a spike. And, you know, people are wanting to get healthy. People want to lose weight. People want to stay young forever. That's an age-old thing.
Right.
Pun intended, I guess. I don't know. But so anyways, we have certain areas in northern Arizona. For example, there is a large wellness center in Camp Verde that does good things. And they make a disclaimer to, and this is what you need to look for as a consumer. You want that disclaimer that basically says, hey, this works for some people, but maybe not all people. And you have to figure out what's best for you. Right. They'll give you your money back if the product doesn't work. So just vitamins, supplements, always something to hesitate about, read about, do your research.
I mean, there's so many out there that it's like, what do you trust? I mean, if there's a cure-all and this one product is supposed to help with this, and this, does it really help with all those things? Or, you know, so I guess that kind of goes to the point where you're talking about it's good for this, but maybe not this.
Correct. So if they're an ethical company, they will let you know this is supposedly good for all of these different things, but it may only work for you for 1 or 2. You know, I mean, everyone's built differently. We all have different things going on genetically.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Third was auto repair and service. That is new to the top 5 list, and I believe that's just because more and more people are looking to keep their vehicles running longer, looking to hold off on having that next car payment, especially in a tough economy. You know, we're always looking for ways to save money. Basically, the complaints that we received talked about inadequate service, incomplete service, or just overall unresponsiveness from a business. One of the best ways, obviously, to avoid this is to use a mechanic that you trust. And usually that's word of mouth. You've gone to a friend or a family member and said, I need to get some work done. You know, who have you gone to before? You can always give us a call. We'll do our best to guide you, to let you know what other people are saying about the businesses out there so that you can make an informed decision.
I imagine if you go to a mechanic and you mention that I was referred to by a customer for years of yours, imagine they're not going to want to ruin that relationship either with you, because somebody you know spoke highly of this business or this mechanic, so they want to keep that reputation.
And there are definitely also other resources. I mean, BBB is a resource center. So if you're looking for a mechanic and you really want to check them out, you can go also to the Arizona Service or Automotive Service Association, and there's chapters. So there's like a Northern Arizona chapter for your area specifically. And if that mechanic belongs to that association, while that's not an enforcement agency, just as we are not an enforcement agency, that is an agency that is monitoring. And is going to let people know if this mechanic is taking advantage of people.
Wow, that is a great resource.
If
you
really
don't have
is.
a guy.
That's right.
You know, if you don't have a mechanic that you've been going to for years.
That's right. You can check them out before you go.
Great. We have about a minute before we have to take a break. What's number 4 is gift certificates and cards.
That's correct. And that is basically you receiving a gift certificate saying that you've won money, cards, gift cards, the purchasing that you do online. You can purchase gift cards online now on certain sites, and you have to be really careful with that. And obviously, we recommend that you purchase them in the store where you can get the little activation code, that type of thing. Basically, you want to make sure you go to a reputable company. You don't want to be taken advantage of with stuff like that, because you're getting your money back can be very difficult. And then the 5th one, this was new to 2016's list, is resorts. And I think it's probably just because we're in northern Arizona, who would not want to come visit? It is a beautiful area, and we'll brag on it for sure. But we also have resorts that sometimes take advantage of consumers, and mainly it was due to billing issues. So maybe someone had to cancel and they didn't read the cancellation policy. So it's not always the resort's fault. The consumer has a responsibility also. So make sure you know terms and conditions, make sure you know what you're purchasing, and obviously you want to make sure that if you're doing like one of those vacation rentals by owner, that you are using a legitimate site so that you're not taken advantage of and show up somewhere and not have a place to stay.
Great, perfect. I imagine these industries looking at this list and hearing back from the consumers on what the consumers found an issue with these certain industries helps them as well kind of monitor themselves, right, and see what they can improve on. Again, for more information, you can go to bbb.org, all kinds of great stuff, 928-772-3410. When we come back from break, we'll talk about the most inquired about industries as well as the most reviewed industries of 2016. Countywide back in a couple minutes.
The Q102.9 plays all the hits.
Yo, what's going on? This is Drizzy Drake.
Ariana Grande.
Maroon 5.
This is Rihanna.
I'm Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars.
Ed Sheeran.
What's up, guys? It's Justin Bieber.
You're listening to The Weeknd.
Start your day with Brian James in the morning. He'll get at least 10 songs in a row during your ride home with Julie Page.
Zach Sang Show.
Catch the Zach Sang Show weeknights 7 to midnight. And Kelly Fox weekends on your home for hit music. The Q102.9 and 104.9 in Prescott and Cottonwood.
I call you and say, I'm with the IRS. You owe back taxes, and if you don't pay today, you're going to jail. You can fix this by sending cash. And you actually believe me? Too smart to fall for it? Well, last year, Americans paid $100 million to guys like me. 1 in 6 people were scammed. Can you believe it? Well, you shouldn't. I just made that up, too. You are a little gullible.
Hello, I'm Jen Cohen, host of Verde Valley TV's hit TV show, The Verde Valley Experience. On each episode, we feature local organizations, nonprofits, persons of interest, events, activities, and great local musicians. It's informative, it's entertaining, it's fun. It's the Verde Valley Experience.
I call you and say, I'm with your son. There's been an accident and he's in jail. He needs bail money, and you actually believe me. So you send cash fast and then, bye-bye. Think you're too smart to fall for this? Just last year, 150 million Americans weren't. 1 out of 3 of your neighbors lost 500 bucks. Can you believe it? You shouldn't. I made that up too. Maybe you will believe everything you're told.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Kyle Benedict, sitting down with Regional Director for the Better Business Bureau, Marilyn Huffman, talking all kinds of stuff. Man, 2016, kind of recapping everything that's been going on. We talked about some of the top scams, I guess most complained about scams before break of 2016, and now we're going to run down. Let's start off with the most inquired about industries.
Sure, and these are inquiries that we've had. Like I said, we've had over 150,000 inquiries just in our area of northern Arizona. And the top one that came back is vitamins and food supplements, which also makes the most complained list. Right. There's kind of a connection there, obviously. But we're happy to see that this is the #1 because it means people are checking out the company before purchasing. Mm-hmm. And so that's a good thing. Gift certificates and cards, obviously, that's a big thing. If you don't buy from a reputable company, it can be very difficult to get your money back in a situation like that. So it's always good to inquire, to just look into the industry, ask questions. Coffee and tea, that may sound a little weird.
Yeah.
I know it did to me too, but it's kind of connected to the vitamins and food supplements.
Okay.
Because there are certain supplements out there that are coffee related or green tea related. They have weird names. You see them on TV shows. They usually will make claims that Dr. Oz says this is great, and Dr. Oz hasn't said anything like that. I can't remember, there was one of the American Idol stars that had lost some weight, and there were false claims being made about her recommending this type of diet drink. So that is how coffee and tea makes the list.
Interesting.
I know, it's kind of weird. But there you have it. And then, of course, guns and gunsmiths, which to me, we live in the Wild West. That makes sense. Right. And if you're going to be purchasing a weapon of any kind, it is always good to be inquiring about that business to make sure they're properly licensed and following safety procedures.
Cool.
And then, of course, we live in a desert. So this last one, air conditioning contractors, makes a lot of sense.
Right.
And there's definitely we get reports on scams for that a lot, where there's, and I would say most of them are related to upsell.
Okay.
So, you know, someone comes into your home and says, you are going to need to replace this unit because you have a crack in this, and they'll show you a picture, and it's very scary.
Yeah.
We had a consumer get a second opinion. Turns out that wasn't even her unit up in the attic.
Jeez.
And of course, she didn't get up in the attic with the guy.
Right.
So she could have lost thousands of dollars, and luckily ended up getting a second opinion and inquired about that company.
Wow.
So
okay.
I know, saved her some grief right there.
It's interesting. We got to end the show already, but looking at the most reviewed industries, some of the similar ones: plumbers, air conditioning, contractors and systems, auto repair with windshield and glass shops, auto repair and services, and then guns and gunsmithing again. So a lot of great information. Again, BBB.org. Thank you so much for coming in here today.
Thank you for having me.
BBB.org, 928-772-3410 for more information, or if you just want more information on what we talked about here during the show. That's going to do it for today's Countywide. I'm Kyle Benedict. See you next time.